Ryan gonna air it out, going deep for Ridley, and it's nearly intercepted. The rookie,
Trevon Diggs has just been hit with the most devastating financial punishment in NFL history, and what the Dallas Cowboys revealed about their systematic destruction of their former All-Pro cornerback has completely exposed the brutal contract warfare that's tearing apart one of the league's most talented players. The $500,000 annihilation that the Cowboys are preparing to unleash on Diggs represents more than just a contract dispute. It's a complete character assassination designed to destroy a player who dared to prioritize his health over the team's demands. The shocking details behind this punishment will leave you speechless about how ruthless NFL organizations can be. According to his contract, Diggs needs to take part in 84.375% of the offseason program in order to avoid the $500,000 de-escalator. The devastating contract language reveals, but this isn't just about attendance requirements. This is about systematic financial punishment for a player whose only crime was trying to recover from devastating injuries. The most infuriating aspect of the Cowboys' destruction of Diggs is that they're financially destroying someone who has been dealing with career-threatening injuries for years. He tore his ACL in a Week 3 practice in 2023. He also faced a chondral bone graft surgery on January 23rd. This surgery requires transplanting pieces of bone tissue into the joint to stimulate growth. Think about what the Cowboys are doing here. They're threatening to take $500,000 from a player who has undergone bone transplant surgery and is desperately trying to save his career through specialized rehabilitation. This isn't contract enforcement. This is systematic cruelty designed to punish someone for prioritizing his long-term health. The geographic warfare that Dallas is waging against Diggs reveals the depths of their vindictive approach. Diggs decided to rehab his knee injury in Miami. This has caused a somewhat stressful scenario for the Cowboys. Dallas wants Diggs to rehab in its facilities. But here's where the Cowboys' behavior becomes absolutely monstrous. Even though Diggs is rehabilitating from surgery, the contract states a player must rehabilitate such injury as required by and under the supervision of the club's head trainer until such time as full participation in the off-season program can be achieved. The Cowboys are literally forcing an injured player to abandon specialized medical care that he believes gives him the best chance of recovery, and if he refuses to submit to their demands, they'll steal $500,000 from him as punishment. The historical context makes this financial destruction even more devastating. Diggs is believed to be the first player who could see a lowering of his base salary if the Cowboys choose to enforce the clause. The Cowboys aren't just punishing Diggs, they're making an example of him to terrorize every other player in the organization. If Diggs' de-escalator clause is enforced, he would become the first player to lose money from it, which means the Cowboys are using Trevon Diggs as their guinea pig for testing how far they can financially destroy players who don't submit completely to their authority. The timing of this destruction makes it even more cruel. Trevon Diggs has a $9 million base salary, and if the de-escalator is enforced, this would turn into an $8.5 million base salary. The Cowboys are threatening to steal over 5% of his annual income during a period when he's desperately trying to recover from career-threatening injuries. But the most damaging revelation is how the Cowboys have systematically engineered this situation to ensure maximum financial punishment. While the off-season program is voluntary, for years the Cowboys have had base salary de-escalator clauses written into their large contracts that have been given out, including for quarterback Dak Prescott, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and defensive tackle Osa Odigizua, that all but guarantees a player's participation. This isn't about one contract, this is about systematic financial terrorism that Dallas has been implementing across their entire roster to ensure complete player submission to organizational demands. The psychological warfare becomes even more obvious when you examine the arbitrary attendance requirements. 84.375% isn't a round number chosen for logical reasons. It's a deliberately precise percentage designed to make it nearly impossible for players to avoid the financial penalties if they miss any significant time. The most telling aspect of Dallas's vindictive behavior is how they're publicly humiliating Diggs while threatening his financial security. The team's mandatory minicamp is next week. If Diggs doesn't show up, he would be subject to fines for missing the 3-day sessions. The Cowboys aren't just threatening the $500,000 de-escalator, they're piling on additional fines for missing mandatory activities, creating multiple layers of financial punishment for someone whose only crime is seeking the best possible medical care. The historical pattern reveals why Diggs made the decision to seek outside medical care. In 2024, a Star Telegram team source said that Diggs and the training staff didn't agree on certain parts of his rehab, and it caused friction between the two sides. Diggs learned from experience that the Cowboys' medical staff couldn't be trusted with his career, so he sought better care elsewhere, and now Dallas is financially punishing him for prioritizing his health over their organizational control. Stephen Jones's public statements reveal the Cowboys' complete lack of empathy for Diggs' situation. "Our preference is always to have him here. We're huge fans with what the training staff does with him, but at the same time, it's his choice. Our understanding is that he's getting the work done and he'll be back in and we'll get a good look at him next week." This passive-aggressive response translates to, "We don't care about his medical needs, we want control, and if he doesn't submit, we'll destroy him financially." The performance decline that Dallas is using to justify their financial destruction tells the story of a player whose career has been systematically destroyed by injuries. Since being an All-Pro in 2021, where he had 11 interceptions and 2 pick-six, Diggs hasn't been the same. In the following 3 seasons, he's played 30 out of 51 possible games and only racked up 6 INTs. But here's what makes the Cowboys' behavior monstrous. They're financially punishing someone whose decline in performance is directly related to injuries suffered while playing for their organization. Diggs gave his body to Dallas, and now they're stealing his money when he tries to get the best possible medical care to continue his career. Coach Brian Schottenheimer's comments reveal the Cowboys' complete disconnect from reality. "All signs are positive. He's been in great communication. We've been in contact with his doctor, his rehab people down there." If all signs are positive and the Cowboys are in contact with Diggs' doctors, why are they threatening to take $500,000 from him? It's not about his health, it's about control. Dallas is sending a clear message. Even if you're recovering from major surgery, skipping team workouts comes at a cost. Diggs gave his body to the Cowboys, and now they're punishing him for trying to protect what's left of it. This isn't support, it's financial pressure. And it shows how Dallas uses contract clauses to punish injured players and force compliance no matter the cost to their well-being.